I love the fact that Martin St. Louis is there. I really do. I think he was a great fit, and I hope they stick it out with him. I said that on the episode a few months ago, but I really hope they stick it out. And Line A's really starting to show that he's in the right spot. Suzuki's really showing that he's a hell of a captain. You know what I mean? Like, they've got a lot of things going for them. They're rebuilding. They're not going to have success this year or next year, maybe the year after, but you're going to see them be contenders in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And I love the fact that Martin St. Louis is there. I really, really do. I do feel that he got the job because he's Marty St. Louis and he speaks French. It's a perfect fit for Montreal. Totally understand. Comprends. Je comprends. Okay?
Qu'est-ce que?
I feel sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the NHL, we're starting to see a lot of names that are familiar. Like a lot of familiar names, not only in players, but in coaches.
Torts.
We're seeing a lot of, I hate using the word retread or rehash, but there are so many really good coaches in Major Junior, Junior Tier 2, NCAA. Even there's some midget AAA coaches that I think are really good that have just been told, you're good there, and that's it. When they really could be groomed and conditioned and work their way up through the ranks. Like, I've got a handful of friends like Josh Green, Nolan Baumgartner, who after their retirement decided to go through the coaching route, and they're doing quite well. Scott Arniel's a great example, former Winnipeg Jet and Manitoba Moose, finally head coach after being an assistant coach in a lot of different teams in the NHL and being a head coach in the American League. I feel that trying to keep these guys in the game is good, but I think a lot of coaches are being overlooked.
But isn't that not a story in life? It's who you know, when you know, right? If you don't know anybody, then good luck getting a job to get in the NHL. We're talking about 64 jobs, right?
Right.
And also the guy that's employing the coach, so if, let's say it's the general manager that's going to pick the coach, or everybody's been fired, it's the owner, it's the president, whoever's going to pick the coach. I'm putting my livelihood on the table.
Sure.
So if I pick some coach from AAA, maybe he could work out. I don't know. But if I'm going to be betting my livelihood and my family's food on the table, I'm probably not going to pick the coach that has no playing experience. I know Mike Babcock can win.
Yeah, but the odd time, and I haven't watched it yet, but Zachary Levi played the role of Kurt Warner in the story of Kurt Warner coming out of the Arena Football League and winning a Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams. So cool. And I know that those are very unique situations, but I think if we open the door for more unique situations, you might see some really capable people.
You know, let's face it, hockey's an old boys club.
Sure it is.
Every aspect.
The Leafs and Oilers have been proving that for the last 50 years.
Because they just keep icing the same team every single year?
No, because they keep graduating the same guys, like the
Kevin Lowe's, like McTavish's.
Right, and the Maple Leafs did that for decades through the 90s and 2000s. They just had the old boys club in there. Now the Oilers are kind of repeating that same sin. And have we not learned that lesson yet? Just because Kevin Lowe was a great defenseman wearing number 4 for the Edmonton Oilers through the 80s and 90s doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be great as a GM in Edmonton. You know, like maybe he needs to go down and be a GM in the American League or the East Coast League. Like, you know, prove yourself first. Just the fact that you got the name and people are like, oh, people will recognize him. They'll know that he's a good GM. Show me.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Sling the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
Pop culture.
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.